What's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here continuing. Let's cook up this NBA action, man. Y'all know we do it on the Jam Session. We cook up every single game, every single day, man. Money Making Friday, my favorite day of the week, during my favorite time of the year, man. March Madness. We got a solid NBA card going on today. Good college hoops going on as well. Yesterday was not my best day in the office. Both sports low-key kicked the crap out of me, but yesterday's yesterday. Today's today. New day, new goals, new opportunities, man. New money to be made. And I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts on each and every NBA game on the card today. And hopefully we come out green, man. I appreciate y'all more than y'all know. All I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter all day long. There's a link for both in the description below. And, of course, I have premium plays over at the site. Money Making Friday, man. Let's do the damn thing. Without further ado, let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. First game on the board. We got the Boston Celtics laying 7.5 points on the Miami Heat. Boston is coming off a loss. They lost to the Thunder Buddies at home at the crib in their last one, 118-112. The Boston Celtics have been really good this season following a loss. It's been one of our favorite spots and situations to bet with Boston. When we're betting Boston, we're looking for motivation angles, motivation spots. If they're not in one of those, 9 times out of 10, they're going through the motions. Boston has beaten up on Miami in both games this season, 108-89 and 103-85. I say all that to say I know Boston's coming off a loss. I know they've beaten up on Miami both games this season. Boston is, in my mind, in my opinion, still the best team in the NBA. They're the defending champs for a reason. I'm not laying the points with them in this spot. I don't like their injury report. Keep an eye out on it. Porzingis, Horford, White, Tatum, Brown. All game time decision at the current time of recording. B, they're coming off a very significant homestand. They just played, 5-6 games straight at home at the crib. This is their first road game, really, post All-Star break. Miami, this team desperately needs a bounce-back game. This team has lost, 5 games straight, 4 at home to Minnesota, Chicago, Charlotte, L.A. They've been struggling mightily. I get it. Betting them in this spot, not fun at all. First game on the board, though, double revenge game, bounce-back game. Celtics coming off a significant homestand. Celtics, it feels like a go-through-the-motion style spot for me with Boston. Miami's been a thorn in the side of Boston. We know the history between these two teams. I know this is a completely different Miami team that caused those problems to the Celtics over the years, but I still think they have the same culture, Heat culture. And I think with as bad as they've played, no better bounce-back spot at home, at the crib, than against Boston at home on a Friday night. I'm on the Miami Heat plus the points in this one. We keep it rolling. We head over to Philadelphia, where the Sixers are the Sixers are 12.5-point home dogs with the Indiana Pacers rolling in. Total, 231.5. No need to overcomplicate this one, man. You see on your screen how bad Philadelphia is from an ATS perspective. They are the worst ATS team in the entire NBA. They're even worse than the Phoenix Suns. 22, 41, and 2. This team is only covered in 35% of their games. We've been fading them, cashing at a generational clip. No need to stop now. Indiana, in my mind, right now, currently, is head and shoulders the better basketball team. Wouldn't shock me if they won this game by 20+. I'm laying it. We keep it rolling. We head over to Atlanta, where the Hawks are 4.5-point home dogs in this thing. This is a game I don't want to overcomplicate. The Clippers have been a fairly easy team to identify from an ATS perspective. At home, at the crib, they're the best money-making team in the NBA. No team you've made more money at home than the Clippers. On the road, fade them. And that's what we're doing here. Atlanta, not nearly as bad from an ATS perspective as they were last season. You can make money with Atlanta in certain spots, in certain situations. In the revenge game at home, I'm going to take the Hawks. I like how the Hawks have played recently. They're trying to get back into the thick of things, and I think this is a good spot and opportunity for them to do so. They're comfortable at home. Clippers are coming off. They did win their last game against the Heat, but the Heat have not been playing well. Back-to-back road games, expecting the Clippers to do something I cannot do. I'm going to grab the points in my back pocket here, or maybe even attack the outright money line with the Atlanta Hawks. We got the team from Dallas. out on the road facing the Houston Rockets. Rockets 11.5-point home favorites in this one. I'm on the Rockets. I'm laying the points in this one. Dallas, they've waved the white flag. They're now in outright tank mode. You know, still tremendously banged up, missing their entire front court. Last time these two teams played, the Mavs did get the win. If you remember, though, that was the Anthony Davis game. The one and only game Anthony Davis played for the Mavs, where he was out there yelling, "I'm here! I'm here!" just to proceed to be out for the remainder of the season following that. That was a bad spot for the Rockets. The Mavs needed that game desperately. The Mavs basically sold their soul for that game, and it, depleted the rest of their season. I think the Rockets get their revenge in this one at home, at the crib. I'm going to lay the points with Houston, who has looked much better of recent at home. Fred VanVleet's back in the lineup. They're starting to look like the Rockets we have come to know and love. Houston, we have a problem. The Rockets might be back. Keep it rolling. We got the Cleveland Cavs out on the road versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies, 2.5-point home dogs in this one. Donovan Mitchell is out for the Cleveland Cavs. Jaren Jackson Jr. could be back tonight for the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies, from an ATS perspective, have been free falling. They're the worst ATS team post All-Star break. Last 14 games, I want to say they're 1-13 ATS. That's how bad it's been for Memphis from an ATS perspective, which is crazy because for majority of the season, the number one ATS team in the NBA was Cleveland, which they still are, and number two was Memphis. But this team has completely fallen off a cliff here recently. Despite that, though, I'm on them tonight. And if they don't cover this spread tonight, they're on the DNB. They're on the DNB. So I'm on the Memphis Grizzlies in this one, man. It's a play on the spot. It's a play on the situation. Revenge game at home. Friday night at home at the crib. The Grizzlies go stupid, dummy, crazy at home, man. We know this. They're one of the few teams of that ilk in the NBA. Cleveland, it's not fun fading them. They're the best record and best ATS team in the NBA for a reason. But I think Memphis has the capability to match up, especially at home on a Friday night. I'm well aware how bad Memphis is from an ATS perspective at home. 0-8, I want to say, ATS last 8 games at home. Terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. But Friday night at home, if this is not enough to shake that up, I don't know what is. I'll give him one last chance. I'm on the Grizzlies, plus the 2.5, and I want to attack the outright money line here in this one. We keep it rolling, man. We have the Minnesota Timberwolves at home, at the crib, with the Orlando Magic rolling in. Orlando on a second leg of a back-to-back with travel. They did beat up on New Orleans yesterday, but having to leave New Orleans with travel, heading to Minnesota to play a red-hot Minnesota Timberwolves team. Y'all know what I call the Minnesota Timberwolves. I call them the House of Disappointment. I really hate betting Minnesota in Minnesota. But with as well as they're playing right now, it's justified. This line is justified. Still don't trust Orlando, especially not on the back end of a back-to-back with this style of travel. It's going to take more than a win over the Pelicans before I trust Orlando again. You feel me? Let's not overcomplicate this. I'm going to lay the points with Minnesota in the rest advantage home game. We got the San Antonio Spurs laying 2.5 points on the Charlotte Hornets. These two teams have matched up once this season. Hornets won that game 117-116. We now know that De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama both shut down for the remainder of the season. I'm still going to take the San Antonio Spurs here on this one. This is that first game following your best player out. I know Wemby's been out for a while, but their new best player was Fox, and now that he's out, that next game is usually the step-up game from your bench, and I think we get that today. I also like the spot, man, revenge game at home for San Antonio. Not one of my favorite games tonight. Not rushing to the window to bet this game. Small lean on the Spurs, though, laying the points. We have the Toronto Raptors out on the road facing the Utah Jazz. 1.5 here in this one. I'm on the Raptors. Raptors have been red hot. They've beaten up on the teams they need to beat up on. Winners of 4 of their last 5. I can't bet Utah with a clear conscience, especially not to win a game, not at home. The Jazz are in outright tank mode. They are competitive in the underdog role, but laying points with them, you're asking for it. I'm well aware that the injury report for Toronto is ugly. but I still think they have enough to come in here and win this game outright. If I'm betting it, I'm on Toronto outright money line. I know it's a bounce back game at home that also happens to be a quick revenge game. All that shit for Utah. Not playing it though. Sorry, I can't. The Raptors have just been the better basketball team, and I think they have more talent, even despite their injuries. I'm on Utah. I'm on Toronto fading Utah. We got the Los Angeles Lake Show Lakers, my favorite team, out on the road facing the Denver Chicken Nuggets. Nuggets 13.5-point home favorites in this one. Keep an eye on the injury report in this game. Right now, currently, Murray, Gordon, Jokic, Braun, all game time decision for the Nuggets. Christian Braun, not LeBron. LeBron James is out tonight for the Lakers. Hachimura out. Jackson Hayes out. The Lakers, man, they got no front court. And that's not good going up against a team like Denver, who has one of the best front court options in the league. 13.5 is a lot of lumber to lay with Denver, but coming off the loss in their last one to Minnesota, I think this is a good bounce back spot for them. It's also a quick revenge game against the Lakers. They lost. Well, it's not technically that quick. They lost to the Lakers 123-100 the last time these two teams played. I think the Nuggets get their revenge. I'm going to lean towards Denver laying the points. I want to see the injury report clear up, but I just don't think the Lakers, in their current iteration, have the personnel to match up with Denver. And with Denver coming off a loss at home Friday night, at the crib, into the elevation where they go stupid, dummy, crazy. We've seen this story before. Revenge game. I'm going to lay the points with Denver. Again, want to see the injury report clear up. Last and final game of the night, we got the Sacramento Kings out on the road facing the Phoenix Suns. Suns laying 2.5 in this one. Two teams we've been fading for majority of the season. Two teams who are kind of struggling right now. Their Kings have lost 3 of their last 4, and so have the Phoenix Suns. This is a 50-50 game, a game I'd much rather have the points in my back pocket. It is a bounce-back game at home that also happens to be a revenge game for the Suns, but the Suns haven't fit really any spot, any situation all season long, so we're not going to start to try to make them fit them now. Say all that to say, I'm on the Kings. I don't love it. It's not a premium. I don't know if I will have official money on it later on today. I might, but small lean on the Sacramento Kings. They've beaten up on them twice this season. I think they do it again. I'm on the Kings here in our last and final game of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in and watch this video. All I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter all day long. There's a link for both in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site. Great time to be alive, man. Money making March. My favorite day of the week during my favorite time of the year. Over the next 2 weeks, month or so, if you're on my premium side, I'm shaking it up a little bit. We're profitable for the season, but we're not having the breakaway tremendous season we had last season. So until I heat all the way back up, I'm going to cut the games down that I'm releasing on the premium side a little bit. We're still betting. We're going to bet heavier, just smaller, not smaller games, but less games is going to be my approach over the next month or so. Trying to go on a major run in the NBA and in college hoops. So not many, probably not as many games on the premium side, but the games that will be over there, we will be betting heavy. So if it's over there, that means I absolutely love it, and I'm betting it tremendously. The run starts today on this Money Making Friday. I appreciate y'all more than y'all know. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs, man. I'm see y'all tomorrow. I'm out of here. Peace.